Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I have 3 thrifted winter/Christmas DIYs for you, and these are actually going to be the last for this year. A little bit sad, even though I don't celebrate Christmas, I love crafting for it. So some of these ideas can be used for decor, maybe you can make them to sell, and if you're looking for a last minute gift, I've got one idea in particular that will do amazing. So without further ado, let's get right in. So my first thrifted item is this tin here, and I really love tins, especially things like this that are vintage. I think tins just look lovely for Christmas crafts, so this is what came in it. So the main thing I'm going to be using is this beautiful ballerina ornament, and I've just actually recently purchased her, and I'm also going to be using some wrapping paper. You can just print something off the internet and use some paper or card. I really love the design of the wrapping paper, by the way. How beautiful is that? I got it on sale as well. So what I'm going to do is take my tin and I'm just going to put it onto the wrapping paper so that I can draw along the tin and measure it so that we can cut its size. So I'm going to have all sides, including the top and the bottom. So I've measured all the sides and the buttons and it's ready to cut. Once you're done, you're going to take your paper and stick it in. You can use double-sided tape. I'm going to be using some glue stick. So I've just been playing off camera to see which tinsel I like better. I thought I'd actually like this, but I think the silver one goes better. Now I've only got this really thick one, so I'm going to have to trim it down. So I'm going to take my hot glue and stick that on to the sides of this tin. So I've just glued it down and now I'm going to trim it. Goodness, look at all of this. I think it's time to clean up before I do anything else. On the bottom of my tin I'm going to add some glitter. So I'm just going to add some glue down first using my glue stick. Sprinkle that on. I had this in my stash and I thought it looks kind of like a disco ball. I know that ballet and disco balls don't really go, but I don't know, I just felt like it was beautiful and I love the iridescent shimmer on there. So what I'm going to do is cut that and I'm going to stick it to the box or the tin at the top here so it dangles down. Going to stick it right in the center. That looks really beautiful. And then I'm going to also add some of this pearl garland to the sides on top of my tinsel. This just gives it a bit of shabby chic edge to it. So taking my hot glue again, I'm just going to run that down the side and attach the pearls to it. We're going to bring that all the way down. I've run out, so I need to add a little bit right at the bottom here. Now to finish off, I'm just adding my ballerina in the box and we're done with DIY number 1. Look at how pretty and delicate this is. I really love it. It's so graceful. So I think that the shabby chic style really suited this as well. A little bit of vintage in there, but I really love mixing things up like that. So if you're enjoying today's ideas so far, please do hit that thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed and leave me a comment. And today's video is also part of a friendly collaboration. I love these girls and they are so talented. So make sure you check out the playlist in my description box to see their ideas once you're done watching my video. For DIY number 2, I'm going to be using this teacup and I'm going to make a little scene on the top. I just can't wait because this is one of my favourite crafts to do. So starting with this floral brick, I'm going to break some off and we're going to place it inside the teacup. Now you're going to take some artificial snow. So I've got this one here. You can use salt, but I feel like for this project it's going to be a little bit tricky. It'll probably just all seep through the holes. So I'm taking this because it's kind of bulkier to work with. I'm going to sprinkle that over. You want to cover all of that green brick or the foam. And you can stick your snow down. I'm not, just so that I can reuse these items, but I would suggest sticking it down. I'd also suggest applying some hot glue on the bottom to stick the cup itself down. And these are perfect to gift, by the way, if you're looking for an affordable last minute gift option. As you can see, I'm also sprinkling a little bit of that snow on the edges of the saucer. Now I'm taking this wooden embellishment and I'm going to colour it in. I'm going to use my gold Sharpie to do that. So I'm just going to add a touch of glue, secure that to the top of my tree. So you're going to take your tree and it usually comes with a little wooden stand. I have removed that, you just twirl it off and you take this and place it inside your foam. So I'm taking this red bow. It's actually ready-made, thankfully, because I'm pretty horrendous at making my own bows. So I thought this will just add some colour and just go with the whole vintage style. I'm going to take my hot glue and attach it to the handle of the teacup. I've got this little stag or deer figurine and I'm going to add that into the teacup. Just like this, and then I'm taking a paper straw. This is pink and white and I don't actually want these colours, but I don't have a red and white, so I'm going to colour the pink areas in with a red marker. Look at what bad job I did here, so hopefully I'm going to cut this and use the better half. So I've got this wooden topper sign. It says a very Merry Christmas. It's in a vintage style as well. I'm going to remove the twine from there. And it does have the holes, but I can't really do much about that. I'm going to add it to this post that I have made. Okay, actually, I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to add some glitter. Hopefully that will fill up those holes there. So I'm just adding that to the top and then to the back where the holes are. It's kind of less visible now. I think it's definitely better than what it was anyway. Now I'm going to add that inside again, the foam. Just pushing that down. And you know these festive necklaces? I actually took it apart for a previous project last year. It used to actually turn on as well. So I am going to do the same this year. I'm just going to take it apart and use some of these. So I've added some glue to this necklace and I'm just going to wind it around the tree and see how much I need, and then I'll cut it off. How sweet is this? I did mention that it's such a good gift idea because look at it, it's just so adorable. A miniature scene in a teacup, and if you craft to sell, this is another great idea. For the third DIY, I'm going to be taking my final thrift find, and I am going to change the colour a little bit. I know I'm kind of going with a vintage style, but I feel like this gold is a little bit too much for me. So I'm taking some watercolour paint, only because it dries faster, so it's good for when I'm filming. And I'm just going to give this a coat. I'm actually going to remove the glass. Oh, how do I remove the glass? I'm actually going to have to put a craft knife through there and wedge it open. So I've just managed to do that with my scissors, thankfully. And just get rid of all of this. So it kind of still gives it an aged look, this colour that I've got, but it's just removing a little bit of that gold. Now I'm going to be using these bells. I'm going to remove the bow, and I might use some of the cherries and greenery, but we'll see. I'm kind of just improvising on these projects. I'm going to add some silver to replace the gold on the ribbon. Now let's glue the bow onto the frame. I'm going to work with another thrifted item, so I've got this here, and I think I'm going to take the bells apart and use that to dangle it down the frame. I decided to remove the existing bows off the bells because I didn't like the gold in it and the thin bows, like the look of them. And I also took my acrylic paint, this is silver, to go over the chains of the bells because I didn't like that bright gold. It's a little bit gaudy for me, I think. And adding the paint actually made it look more rustic and aged, and that's the reason why I left the bells exactly how they were originally, because they did look more natural, aged, rustic look, and I just love that whole vintage style. And I'm taking those little bows again, I'm going to secure them onto each bell. Now I'm going to flip my frame around, and I'm going to take some hot glue to secure the bells in place. So I've got a shorter one that will go in the middle, and the two longer ones will go either side. And here's the final project for today. Actually, some of the paint chipped off because it is watercolor paint, so it didn't stick to the frame very well, but I think it works, so I'm just rolling with it. So these are all three projects together. I hope that this has inspired you just to create something beautiful and realize you really don't have to spend a lot of money doing so. So that's all of my ideas for today. Let me know what your favourite is. I think mine would probably have to be the teacup with the miniature scene inside. If you're following me by now, you know that that's just one of my favourite things to make, and it's just, I love all magical things. And then the ballerina would probably come in second, and then the frame with the bells last. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, please do share this video with others, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your support. Take care. Bye.